What if I told you that one specific powder, often ignored by doctors and completely missing from most senior diets, could help rebuild lost muscle faster than eggs, meat, or even the gym? This isn't some trendy supplement or magic drink. It's a natural food extract that's been used for centuries, but science has only recently discovered how powerful it is for reversing something called sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle and strength. And if you're over 60, sarcopenia is silently robbing you of energy, balance, and independence. It's the reason why stairs feel harder, why your legs get tired faster, and why even light activities leave you drained. But here's the good news. Muscle loss is not inevitable. It's not just a part of aging. And you don't need intense workouts or expensive protein powders to fight it. Today, we're going to uncover why eggs and whey protein may not be enough after 60. Most people think muscle loss is just a natural part of getting older, something that happens quietly, gradually, and unavoidably once you hit your 60s or 70s. But here's the shocking truth. Sarcopenia, the medical term for age-related muscle loss, starts much earlier than most realize. Research shows it can begin as early as your 40s, and by the time you notice your legs feeling weak, your arms getting smaller, or everyday tasks becoming more tiring, a lot of damage has already been done. Sarcopenia isn't just about losing muscle mass, it's about losing functional strength. The strength to climb stairs without holding the railing. The power to stand up from a chair without using your hands. The ability to walk with confidence, balance, and speed. And when muscle strength goes down, something else rises fast. The risk of falls, injuries, hospitalizations, and even a loss of independence. But here's what doctors don't always explain. Sarcopenia isn't just caused by age. It's caused by a decline in your metabolism, your hormones, and most importantly, your ability to absorb and use protein. Yes, you heard that right. You can eat all the protein in the world and still lose muscle if your body can't use it properly. Let me give you an analogy. Imagine your muscles are a construction site. Protein is the brick, the raw material. But what happens if the workers, your enzymes, your hormones, your metabolic machinery, are missing, slow, or not doing their job? Nothing gets built. Or worse, the structure starts falling apart. That's what happens inside your body when sarcopenia sets in. And the problem is, you might be feeding your body all the right things, but if your digestive fire is weak, your liver is sluggish, and your hormones are out of sync, that protein gets wasted. Now here's where it gets even more frustrating for seniors. As you age, your body becomes less responsive to protein. The same amount that triggered muscle growth in your 30s no longer works in your 60s. This phenomenon is called anabolic resistance, and it's a key reason why older adults struggle to build or even maintain muscle, even when they're eating well. Worse still, most popular proteins, like whey, eggs, or even meat, require strong digestion and stomach acid to break down. But many people over 60 don't produce enough stomach acid, enzymes, or bile to make that happen efficiently. So instead of being absorbed, that protein ferments in the gut, causes bloating or inflammation, and leaves you with, you guessed it, no muscle gain. And this is where the game changes. Because there's one natural protein source that bypasses most of these issues. It's easier to digest. It's richer in the amino acids seniors specifically need. And it delivers results, even in people who struggle with regular protein powders. We'll talk about it in a moment. But first, I want you to remember this. Sarcopenia is not inevitable. It's not just a sign of getting older. It's a signal that your body is missing key metabolic supports. And when you restore them, strength can return faster than you think. In the next section, we're going to uncover the 3 biggest hidden blocks to muscle growth after 60 and what to do about them. How your digestion, hormones, and liver affect muscle strength, and the exact powdered protein source that's outperforming everything else in clinical studies. especially for seniors. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have a complete daily protocol to fight muscle loss naturally, starting tonight. Let's dive in. Let's say you're already eating a high-protein diet. Maybe you've added eggs to breakfast, lean chicken at lunch, and even a scoop of protein powder after a walk or workout. And yet, your legs still feel weak. You still struggle to recover after a busy day. And your strength? It's slowly fading. Why? The answer lies in 3 hidden systems inside your body, all of which are essential for turning protein into muscle, but often start breaking down with age. Let's break them down. 1. Digestion, the fire that starts it all. By the time you reach your 60s, there's a good chance your body is no longer producing enough stomach acid, digestive enzymes, or bile. This matters a lot. Stomach acid isn't just about avoiding heartburn. It's what breaks down protein into amino acids, the building blocks your body needs for strength, repair, and tissue regeneration. Without enough acid, protein just sits in the stomach, partially digested. The result? Bloating, gas, indigestion, inflammation, and worst of all, that protein goes to waste. And it's not just the stomach. The pancreas often slows down too, producing fewer enzymes like protease and lipase, crucial for digesting protein and fat. So even if you're eating well, your body can't extract what it needs. And guess what happens when undigested protein ferments in the gut? It feeds bad bacteria, triggers inflammation, and makes absorption even harder the next time. 2. Hormones, the silent muscle killers. As you age, your hormonal landscape changes, and not for the better. Let's talk about cortisol first, your primary stress hormone. After 60, cortisol levels often rise, especially if you're not sleeping deeply or dealing with chronic stress. And cortisol is catabolic. It breaks down muscle, especially in the legs, glutes, and postural muscles. At the same time, your insulin sensitivity declines. That means your cells don't respond to insulin the way they used to, and insulin is required to shuttle amino acids into muscle tissue. So what happens? You lose lean muscle, you store more body fat, and your body composition shifts into something called the skinny fat syndrome. Low muscle, high fat, low energy. And it gets worse. Too much protein, especially from fast-absorbing sources like whey, can spike insulin in a stressed-out metabolism. That means the very protein you're eating might actually be making things worse. But not all protein behaves the same way. Some sources, like the one we'll explore shortly, deliver amino acids without spiking insulin. That's a game changer. 3. Liver function, the master regulator. Your liver plays a central role in amino acid conversion, blood sugar regulation, and protein synthesis. But by age 60, the average liver is sluggish, burdened by years of processed foods, medications, alcohol, and inflammation. And when your liver slows down, so does everything else. You might eat enough protein, but if your liver can't convert those amino acids into usable material for building muscle, it's like shipping bricks to a job site, but the builder never shows up. This leads to fatigue, poor recovery, low metabolism, and continued muscle breakdown. Bottom line, if you don't address these 3 hidden blocks, digestion, hormones, and liver function, it doesn't matter how much protein you eat. Your body won't turn it into strength. But here's the exciting part. There's one powdered food source that bypasses most of these issues. It's pre-digested, so it doesn't need strong stomach acid. It's low in methionine, which reduces inflammation. It's rich in glycine and leucine, 2 amino acids crucial for rebuilding tissue. And it has virtually 0 insulin impact, so it won't sabotage your metabolism. Part 3, the powder that rebuilds muscle faster than eggs. If you ask most doctors or trainers what the best source of protein is, you'll probably hear the same answers. Eggs, chicken breast, whey protein, maybe steak. And while those are solid sources, especially in younger bodies, they're not the best option for seniors dealing with sarcopenia. Why? Because they all depend on strong digestion. They require high stomach acid, efficient enzymes, and fast nutrient transport, systems that slow down as we age. But there's one source of protein that stands out, especially after 60, and that's bone broth protein powder, specifically grass-fed hydrolyzed bone broth collagen. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, "Isn't that just for gut health?" Let's look at what the science actually shows. Eggs vs. bone broth. The real comparison. Let's start with numbers. A large egg contains about 6 grams of protein. It's complete, yes, but mostly geared toward growth in the context of an egg's biological purpose, to build a chick. Now compare that to 1 scoop of bone broth protein. Depending on the brand, it delivers 15 to 20 grams of protein per scoop, over 3x more than an egg. But it's not just about quantity, it's about quality. Bone broth protein is naturally rich in glycine, proline, hydroxyproline, arginine. These aren't just any amino acids. They're the exact ones your body needs to rebuild muscles, tendons, ligaments, connective tissue, and even your joints and skin. And unlike regular protein, collagen-based proteins are pre-hydrolyzed, meaning they're already broken down into peptides that are easy to absorb, even in older adults with weaker digestion. The bricks versus mortar analogy. Think of your body like a house. Eggs and meat give you bricks, solid protein structures. But bricks alone don't make a strong house. You need mortar to hold them together. That mortar is collagen, and it's what makes your muscle tissue strong, elastic, and resistant to tearing or weakness. When seniors complain that their legs feel weak even after eating enough protein, it's often because their body lacks the connective tissue matrix that collagen provides. Without that support, your muscles simply don't function at full strength, no matter how many grams of protein you eat. What the research says at 2015, study published in the British Journal of Nutrition, found that older men who took collagen peptides while doing light resistance training gained significantly more muscle mass and strength than those who took a placebo. And here's the key. This was light exercise, nothing intense. That's how powerful collagen peptides can be for seniors. Why does it work? Because collagen enhances anabolic signaling, repairs damaged tissues at the cellular level, fights chronic inflammation, which blocks recovery and doesn't spike insulin. So it's metabolically safe, even during fasting or before bed. Added bonus. Longevity support. There's one more reason bone broth protein shines after 60. It's rich in glycine, an amino acid that balances out methionine levels in the body. Why does this matter? Excess methionine is linked to aging and inflammation. Glycine helps counteract that effect. The result: better methylation, less oxidative stress, and potentially slower biological aging. You're not just building muscle. You're also supporting metabolic health, detox, and cellular resilience. Let's recap. Bone broth protein powder provides more protein per scoop than eggs, contains muscle-specific amino acids like glycine and hydroxyproline, is easier to digest, does not spike insulin, supports connective tissue repair, and may even help with deep sleep and inflammation. In short, it's the most senior-friendly, muscle rebuilding, and longevity-supporting protein source available today. In the next section, we're going to break down the most important amino acid inside this powder, the one that triggers muscle growth like a switch, and why most seniors aren't getting enough of it. By now, you understand that muscle loss after 60 isn't just about eating more protein. It's about getting the right kind, at the right time, in a body that's ready to use it. But there's one more piece to the puzzle, one that might be even more important. It's called leucine, and it acts like a biological on switch for muscle building. Leucine isn't just another amino acid. It's the ignition key for something called mTOR, short for mechanistic target of rapamycin, a master pathway in your body that controls whether you build or break down muscle. Think of mTOR like a factory manager. If leucine levels are high enough, mTOR flips the switch and your body starts building new muscle proteins, rebuilding what's been lost. But here's the problem. As you age, your muscle tissue becomes less sensitive to leucine. This is known as anabolic resistance. And it means that the same amount of protein, or leucine, that worked in your 30s or 40s simply doesn't cut it anymore. Why most seniors never reach the leucine threshold? Let's get specific. Research shows that adults over 60 need around 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine per meal to properly activate mTOR and stimulate muscle growth. How much leucine is in one egg? About 0.5 grams. That means you'd need to eat 5 to 6 eggs in one sitting just to trigger that response. And even then, your digestion and insulin sensitivity could interfere. Now ask yourself, when was the last time you ate 6 eggs at once? And even if you did your body actually use them efficiently? This is exactly why so many older adults struggle to gain muscle, even when they think they're eating enough protein. It's not about how much protein you eat. It's about whether it contains enough leucine and whether your body is in the right state to respond to it. Why bone broth and collagen-based proteins work better? Here's the good news. Bone broth protein, collagen peptides, and even leucine-rich foods like grass-fed beef or fermented soy can help you hit that threshold without the digestive burden of eating 6 eggs or 2 chicken breasts. Even better, you can amplify the effect of leucine with a simple science-backed protocol. Consume leucine-rich protein within 30 minutes of resistance exercise. Pair it with a small amount of healthy fat like MCT oil or olive oil. Avoid pairing it with sugar or processed carbs, which can block the mTOR signal. And here's something most people don't realize. You don't need intense workouts. Light resistance, bodyweight squats, resistance bands, slow push-ups is enough to prime your muscle tissue to respond. Now, before we get to the exact timing protocol that helps rebuild muscle while you sleep, I want to pause for just a moment. If this video is giving you something useful, if you've learned even one thing that could help you feel stronger, sleep deeper, or reclaim some of the energy you've lost over the years, then go ahead and click the like button. It tells the YouTube algorithm that this kind of science-backed content matters. And it helps more seniors, just like you, discover real solutions to muscle loss and fatigue. And if you want to keep learning how to rebuild strength, boost metabolism, and stay independent without medication, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. I post new videos like this every single day. Now, let's unlock something most people completely overlook. Because the timing of your protein, especially in the evening, may be the missing link between doing everything right and still waking up tired and sore. Let's break it down. Here's something few people, and almost no doctors, talk about when it comes to building muscle after 60. Your body doesn't grow muscle when you're working out. It builds muscle when you're resting, especially during deep sleep. That's right. The real rebuilding happens at night. And there's a powerful reason for that. During the deepest stages of sleep, especially around 1 o'clock to 3 a.m., your body releases a hormone called human growth hormone. This hormone is responsible for repairing tissues, stimulating protein synthesis, burning fat, and maintaining lean muscle mass. But here's the catch. For this powerful hormone to do its job, your body needs access to the right nutrients at the right time. And most people, even those eating well, completely miss this window. Why most seniors miss the anabolic window at night? Let's look at what usually happens. You eat dinner around 6 or 7 p.m., maybe a light meal or something easy to digest. Then you go several hours without eating. You might even have a carb-heavy snack before bed, crackers, toast, a banana. And what does that do? It spikes insulin, which suppresses growth hormone. It floods the bloodstream with sugar, which interferes with overnight fat burning, and worst of all, it leaves your body without the amino acids it needs when growth hormone levels finally rise, so your body is ready to rebuild, but has no building materials. That's like calling in the repair crew at midnight, but forgetting to send the tools. What the science shows. A 2012 study published in Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise found that consuming casein protein, a slow-digesting protein, before bed significantly increased overnight muscle protein synthesis in older adults compared to fasting. Now, casein works, yes, but many seniors are sensitive to dairy, and casein can spike insulin in some people. This is where bone broth protein or collagen peptides offer a serious advantage. They're slow digesting, like casein, but they're dairy-free, and they have low or no insulin impact. Even better, they contain glycine, an amino acid that helps relax the nervous system, lowers body temperature, and supports deeper, more restorative sleep. So not only do you rebuild more muscle, you also sleep better. Evening Muscle Building Protocol. Here's a simple evening routine designed to maximize overnight recovery. Eat a light, early dinner around 6:30 p.m. Focus on clean protein like salmon, sardines, or tempeh. Add steamed veggies and a healthy fat like olive oil or avocado around 8:30 to 9 p.m. 90 minutes before bed. Mix 1 scoop of grass-fed bone broth protein with warm water or unsweetened nut milk. Add a pinch of cinnamon for blood sugar. Balance optional. Add 200 to 300 milligrams of magnesium glycinate or 3 grams of glycine to enhance relaxation. Avoid carbs, alcohol, or screens before bed. Lights out by 10:30 p.m. when growth hormone peaks. This protocol gives your body a steady stream of amino acids, exactly when it needs them, without insulin interference or digestive stress. And here's the bonus. Many people who follow this protocol report deeper sleep, better energy upon waking, and even fewer nighttime trips to the bathroom, thanks to glycine's calming effects on the bladder. Now you might be wondering, how do I put all of this together into one daily routine I can actually follow? Great question, because in the next and final section, I'll show you exactly that. You'll get a full, step-by-step 24-hour muscle regeneration protocol designed for adults over 60. No guesswork, no overwhelm, just clear action. Let's put everything into motion. So far, we've explored why traditional protein sources like eggs may not be enough after 60, how digestion, hormones, and liver function secretly block muscle growth, the power of bone broth protein and collagen, and how timing, especially at night, can make or break your results. Now, it's time to put all the pieces together. Here's a full 24-hour metabolic reset routine designed specifically for seniors. A protocol that supports digestion, activates mTOR, balances hormones, and helps you rebuild lean, functional muscle naturally. Let's walk through it step by step. Morning. Kickstart your metabolism, sunlight, and movement. Get 10 to 15 minutes of morning sunlight as soon as possible. This resets your circadian rhythm, lowers cortisol, and supports hormone balance. Hydration ritual. Drink a large glass of filtered water with a pinch of sea salt and lemon optional. Add 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar to boost stomach acid and protein digestion. Light movement, brisk walk, or 10 to 15 minutes of dynamic stretching stimulates blood flow, joint activation, and improves insulin sensitivity. MIDDA. Why the anabolic lunch protein-rich main meal. 20 to 30 grams of complete protein. Examples: wild salmon, sardines, turkey, pasture-raised eggs, or tempeh. Add low-carb vegetables like steamed kale, broccoli, or arugula. Include a healthy fat like olive oil, avocado, or grass-fed butter. Digestive support. If you feel heavy or bloated, consider beaten HCl or herbal bitters to aid protein breakdown. Afternoon. Muscle activation plus recovery. Light resistance training. 15 to 30 minutes of body weight or resistance band exercises. Focus on controlled reps, squats, push-ups, Seeded Rose post-workout snack. 1 scoop bone broth protein with warm nut milk or 2 to 3 hard-boiled eggs. Pair with 1 tsp of MCT oil for slower absorption and sustained muscle repair evening. Prime your body for deep repair, light dinner clean protein. Salmon, sardines, lentils, or leftovers from lunch steamed or roasted vegetables. Avoid sugar, starch, and alcohol nighttime protein ritual. At 8:30 to 9 p.m. Mix 1 scoop bone broth protein with warm water or nut milk. Add cinnamon for blood sugar support optional. Magnesium glycinate or glycine to improve sleep depth wind down. Avoid screens or blue light exposure after 9 p.m., gentle breathing or light stretching. Lights out by 10:30 p.m. for optimal growth. Hormone release weekly a Dion's infrared sauna or Epsom salt bath to reduce inflammation. Liver support foods, beets, dandelion root tea, arugula optional fasting window. 12 to 14 hours overnight. Results you can expect in 2 to 3 weeks. Improved leg strength and coordination, better posture and mobility deeper, more restorative sleep, reduced joint stiffness, increased morning energy, more confidence in your daily movement. You don't need extreme workouts or harsh supplements. You just need the right metabolic triggers, delivered consistently. Let's step back and remember why this matters. If you're over 60 and struggling with weak legs, fatigue, or slow recovery, it's not your fault. You've been told this is normal aging. But in many cases, what we call aging is really a breakdown in digestion, hormones, sleep, nutrient signaling, and these can all be addressed. Because your muscles don't care how old you are. They only care whether they're getting the right inputs. You've now learned why traditional proteins like eggs often fall short, how to use bone broth protein and leucine to your advantage, how to optimize digestion, insulin, and cortisol, and when to deliver amino acids for maximum repair. During deep sleep, you also have a full, repeatable 24-hour protocol that fits into daily life. So here's your next step. Start tonight. 1 scoop of bone broth, a pinch of cinnamon, a few deep breaths. Lights out by 10:30. Then track how you feel tomorrow morning. Do your legs feel steadier? Was your sleep deeper? Is your energy more stable? This is how real transformation happens, not through sudden overhauls, but through small, consistent signals repeated daily. If this video helped you in any way, if it gave you clarity, confidence, or a plan, click like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. You have everything you need to get stronger, starting right now.